Okay, moving on with another one for Fiona Cornwall. We've been asked for an update on the SJIB online application process, please, Fiona.
Okay, the SJIB has wanted this for a long time, and we have been developing a new database and are in the process of working with Ian and a company called Connect on a new website, or an updated website, where people will be able to apply for their grade card, either for the first time or to renew or to upgrade from the website. We have tried to simplify the process. When I first started in Select, I knew absolutely diddly squat about grading and criteria and what was required to obtain certain cards. It's evolved over the years, and what we've tried to do is simplify it so that if you are looking for a card, you would go onto the website. It will be broken up into certain sections. Electrotechnical will contain everything, all the cards that are available: electrician, approved technician, electrical fitters, winders. All of the electrotechnical sector cards will be available from there. There's a management section. There's a network infrastructure section, which we knew previously as datacoms. There'll be a fire, emergency and security systems section, cabling and jointing, building controls, and ECS related discipline. So those would be the sections. You click on electrotechnical and a list of cards, different cards, electrician, technician, etc. will appear. And there's going to be a summary. If you are applying for this card for the first time, this is the criteria you need to meet. If you meet this criteria, click on the online initial application form, and people will be able to access the database and upload their information, or they can renew their application if they've had a card before, or they can request an upgrade. But the information on that summary page is very simple. It's unique to that card, so we're not overcomplicating it, and somebody will know very quickly whether or not they can proceed, or whether or not they maybe have to go away and do particular training in order to be eligible to apply. If they can, they click onto the online application, for instance, and they would then go through various pages, the personal details pages, where they would populate it, give us their email addresses, etc. Then, depending on the criteria, they would go into health and safety sections, BS 7671 requirements, other training, which is optional. There are some sections that are mandatory and must be completed, and they must download and give us dates for certificates to prove when they did training. If they fail to do that, the system will not allow them to continue. They will be advised of what they have to do. If they have everything, they can proceed through the stages, load the applications, give us the dates that they did it, and then they submit the application, and that goes straight to our inbox in the database, and we can then start processing that. People are advised that we will still check, because somebody may put in a certificate that is not valid. It's maybe out of date, or it's maybe the wrong course. In that instance, we would do what we do at the moment, which would be to email them and advise them what's missing and what they need to do in order for us to progress. We are also very aware that not everybody wants to do an online application. Some people are very nervous of the technology, so if they didn't want to do the online, they can apply using a paper version, which they can either print off and handwrite and submit everything to us at the Walled Garden, or they can enter their details and email it to us. So we're trying to cater to suit all needs, a bit like Malcolm was saying about the training courses, to suit people's preferences. What we're hoping for is that we can, at the moment our timeframes are 2 to 3 weeks for us to receive an application, log it, load it, and get it out, a new card out to somebody. When I first started in Select, it was 6 to 8 weeks to obtain a card from receiving an application form. This process is going to be quicker because the person is applying online, they're submitting all the qualifications, they're paying online. So that's 3 stages that we don't have to do. It will go in our inbox and we will then be able to process it. So I reckon, and I'm hoping, that those 2 to 3 weeks that we're currently stating, we are hoping that that can be reduced, assuming that everything is in order. We have been going through the planning stages. We're now at the testing stage. We have a meeting with our developer every week. We had one this afternoon, and I have to say all the tweaks that we needed, bar 4, have been dealt with. And we're focusing initially on the electrotechnical cards, the management cards, and the ECS related discipline cards. So they will be the ones that people can start applying for online, hopefully by the end of February. It's important to note that some of the health and safety requirements for some of these cards have changed. And whereas in the past, a health and safety assessment would be sufficient, now, depending on the card, somebody will have to do different health and safety training in order to get that card for the first time. So for instance, the labourer's card has changed. If I want a new electrical labourer's card, for the first time when I'm applying for it, I will have to meet a different health and safety requirement. One of the options that people have is the TESA course that Select's training department run. If somebody submitted that form and just submitted a health and safety assessment, we would have to get back to the individual and say, no, you have to do one of these courses. When they renew that card in 3 years' time, a health and safety assessment will be sufficient, but not for the new card. And the new cards affected by this are the old labourer, operative, site manager, contract manager, and senior manager no longer exist. Office staff and visitors no longer exist. They have been replaced by an electrical labourer, an operative, an ECS manager, and ECS site support. And the training requirement for those cards is different the first time they apply for it. Thereafter, an ECS assessment will suffice. But I'm hoping with the testing, 2 of the guys from technical tested it, 2 guys from John Nobles have tested it, one who is a complete technophobe and is doing the paper version testing for us. The other is very comfortable with technology. We're also going to take it out to another couple because there was a couple of people have had an issue just with logging in, and we don't want people to have issues logging in. But I was assured by the developer today that those issues will no longer exist in a few days' time. So it's quite exciting, and I think it will make life easier for people. People can apply using a phone, using a tablet, using a computer, whichever technology or tool they choose to use. And we will be introducing the others as we go on. We also spoke today about sending out renewal reminder emails. We used to send renewal reminders out years ago, but we got such a poor return that we stopped it. But we are hoping to email people 6 months before a card is due to expire to remind them the card's due to expire. If you want to do this, this is what you have to do to prepare yourself for that. So that's something that we are going to reinstate. We also intend to we never did it really, but we're going to instate a reminder to people who've qualified and passed the FICA 18 months ago to remind them to go forward and apply for the ACA. So those 2 things are being discussed at the moment, and we will be emailing people with those messages. So it's quite an interesting time in grading at the moment.
Okay, thanks, Fiona. Any questions for Fiona? Scott?
Yeah, please. Hi, Fiona. Great timing. One of my guys has been texting me constantly over the last wee while. Dev served his time in England. All his qualifications are English, except from 18th edition that he done with Select. He said to me, my qualifications are all English except 19th, but there's no box to tick to put them on. So what can I do? He said he's tried been through the contact form on the website a couple of times and not get a response.
Would you like to be one of my guinea pigs?
Probably, aye. He's a good lad.
Well, if you email me his details, Scott, I can
Okay.
maybe contact him, have a chat, and then I will arrange for him to apply for an electrician's card online with us. I won't charge him for it, but we can see how it works. I will be asking him for
Right.
some feedback just on how he feels. Is it intuitive? Is it cumbersome? We're getting good feedback at the moment, but I'm happy to use him as a guinea pig if you like.
No, perfect. Dave's a good lad. He'll do whatever he needs to do. That's perfect.
Okay, just email me his details and I'll start sorting that out.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Scott.
Sandra,
Sorry,
the first TESA online course is arranged for the 25th of February. So we have done TESA courses, but we've not done any online so far. And the first one is arranged for 25th of February. Just thought I'd let you know.
thanks, Malcolm.